So let us know what kindness has done for you in life. Be it kindness for others or be it kindness to yourself. How has this been a gift that keeps on giving in your life? I know personally it's been one that has continued to give to me, that it's every time I boomerang kindness, it just comes back to me tenfold each time. You throw out that love, and it comes right back to me, you know? So how is that kindness coming back to you in your life? And are you giving it to yourself as well? But we're going to talk about this topic. Something came up and I got a message that came through. You know, sometimes we see things right when we need them, right? Isn't it cool how you can get a message right when you need it? Like that perfect divine timing is never late. So Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks came with a message on kindness and I wanted to share it with you. But let me ask you, comment below, let us know, what has kindness done in your life for you and for the others around you as well? What has it done in your family? What has it done in your circle of friends? What has it done for your soul? What has it done for your spirit? What has it done for your heart? And what has it done for your mind? Being kind. So let us know about kindness. We talk about Abraham Hicks. In order to be an uplifter, you must be uplifted. Have you found this evident in your life? People ask me, Jerome, how do you get to be such a good listener? Like, wow, you listen so well. I'm like, oh, okay. And I feel like it was because someone listened to me. Coming up, I was diagnosed with ADHD. They said, hey, you got attention problems, you got focus problems, you can't sit still, you're hyperactive, you need this pill, you need that pill, you need to talk to this psychologist, that psychiatrist, this therapist, that counselor. And at first I thought it was a curse, right? I thought it was a curse. I gotta talk to all of these people about my problems. But you know what? It ended up being the most powerful blessing in my life, that I had to talk to all these wonderful beings that cared to listen. They say sharing is caring. And all they did was listen to me, Sometimes they didn't even have to offer me anything. They just gave me the space to share. And by giving me that space, they taught me one of life's greatest lessons. And that is kindness, to be able to give that space for another. To be able to hold that space for another, to be able to have a listening ear, to be able to have a kindred soul and a kind heart. So in order to be an uplifted, you must be uplifted to be an uplifter, Sometimes in order to listen, we have to be listened to. Someone teaches you how to be kind when they're kind to you, How to be more kind, how to be more present, how to be more attentive, how to be more loving, These are things that we can learn how to be more, Just like hate is something that is learned. Just like all the other emotions, jealousy, envy, all those things you can learn. But you can also learn to love. You can learn to be more kind in your life. And it can give you so much. It's a gift that keeps on giving. We talk about how we can be thankful for all the rude, obnoxious, and difficult people that we meet in life, because they can serve as important reminders of how not to be. They say people can teach us two things, what to do, what not to do. You can learn so much through observation, just being aware. People watching is one of the best things that I love to do, whether I'm at the library, a bookstore, or I'm on the street. Watching people come by, listening to the things that people say that they themselves don't know that they are listening. Whenever we speak, every cell in our body is listening. It's picking up on everything. So listening to all the rude, obnoxious, and difficult people in life has actually taught me to do the opposite, because I see what happens. The dichotomy, the relationship between someone's life who is grateful and someone's life who is hateful. Someone's life who is thankful and someone's life who is unappreciative for the things that they have no idea. There are so many people that wish they could have the life that others are living. So they can serve as important reminders, not to shun people, but to learn from them, learn from them what to do and what not to do. So being careful, my friend, who you shun today, they may be your only source of hope tomorrow. Be careful who you dim today. They may be your only source of light tomorrow. Can you imagine, at the drop of a dime, things could change drastically. We could be blindsided. Life has a strange way of changing. In the snap of a finger, in the blink of an eye, it all can change. And if you ever find yourself in a position less fortunate than the one you hold today, all the people that you have treated with kindness, or the opposite, that starts to come back on you. This is karma in action. So be careful who you shun today. They may be your only source of hope tomorrow. This is a very important lesson for me as well, to understand that treating everyone with kindness, it's going to come back to you. It will come back to you. And don't do it because of who they are. Do it because of who you are. Don't treat someone with kindness because they are kind. Treat someone with kindness because you are kind. Right? How people treat other people is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. Do you feel like this is true? Do you feel like the way that others have treated you, you've just viewed it as a reflection of how they feel? When the inner me is not the enemy, You're like, oh, I don't have to take this personally, right? Don Miguel Ruiz talks about that in the 4 agreements, I believe, not to take things personally. That's one of the biggest ones. Don't take it personal, It's not about you. A lot of times it's about the other person. It's how they feel inside, because what comes out is what's inside. So understanding that we can treat people with kindness regardless. In the Tao Te Ching, there's even a chapter here. It's chapter 49, and I love this chapter. It says, "The master has no mind of her own. She works with the mind of the people. She is good to people who are good. She is also good to people who aren't good. This is true goodness. She trusts people who are trustworthy. She also trusts people who aren't trustworthy. This is true trust. The master's mind is like space. People don't understand her. They look to her and wait. She treats them like her own children." I love this verse. Chapter 49 of the Tao Te Ching. How does this verse speak to you in your life? Treating others in this way. And how has treating others in this way come back to you tenfold? Would love to know your stories. Would love to know if you've seen evidence of this in your outer reality. Aesop, they say no act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted. The small affects the all, right? Everything that we do counts. Isn't it wonderful to live in a time, in an age, in a world, in a realm where there are no small actions in an infinite universe? Everything counts. Everything you do, every word, every expression, every thought, every action, everything counts. Everything, And it's also a message for me and you to know, between you and me and the tree, to understand that even the smallest act of kindness is worth the greatest intention. I love Khalil Gibran, the author of The Prophet. Wonderful book, wonderful read if you ever get the chance, if you ever get the time. It's life-changing. It's called The Prophet. But I love this quote here, the smallest act is worth more than the greatest intention. You might think, what? I could, I see that person over there. They're holding up the sign. I could give them something. But I'll give them something later on, right? You have the thought, pure heart, wonderful. But in that small act of kindness, you've done even more than the greatest intention. You can have the greatest intention for people, but what do we do? What do we do at the end of the day? And how does the actions that we actually do have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of others? So don't just think you are, my friend. Know you are. Don't just think to do it. Make it happen. Whatever it is, do it. So thank you so much for being. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for being loving. Thank you for this energy, this wonderful time. And thank you for sharing your breath here today. Awesome. Buenos dias. Awesome. Hey. Yes. Victoria says, kindness with myself has allowed me to be satisfied with the present version of myself. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, definitely. Kindness to ourselves are, it's important, I think it's even more important because we can give others all the kindness in the world, but what are we giving ourselves at the end of the day? Everywhere you go, there you are. So being able to look at yourself in the mirror, give yourself that kindness, give yourself that love, that's going to have even more of a tremendous effect because we feel the love you give yourself. Haruka said, it helped me to forgive. Wow. Forgiveness is tremendous, Forgive yourself as well. That's awesome. That's awesome, Haruka. Yeah, ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you and I love you. It's something so powerful, forgiveness. One of the most profound sayings I've ever heard was actually from Dr. Wayne Dyer. And it's one that I'm still mulling over today. It's still like simmering in my mind. And I'm learning how to accept this. Because, a lot of times we feel like it's hard to forgive. But he said, ultimately, he said, in order to forgive, you must have blamed. And ultimately, there's nothing to forgive because there's no one to judge and nothing to blame. And I was like, wow, like what kind of love is that? That's love like the sun that just comes out and shines on you, whether you're good or bad, trustworthy or untrustworthy. It just gives. It keeps shining every day. It's not worried about what kind of person you are, what kind of things or acts you've committed. It's going to shine on you regardless. And I was saying to myself, I want to be more like that. I want to be like the sun. That doesn't even have to forgive because there was no wrong committed. Victoria says, this is like daily church. Church, tabernacle. Wow. Can I get an amen? Victoria, you serious? You funny. Danielle says, kindness showed me animals are friends, not food. Yes. Danielle, the first time I seen this documentary narrated by Joaquin Phoenix, it was called Earthlings. My whole life changed. I had felt like I had lived a lie my whole life, could not understand how I had gone so far away, eating animal flesh and then petting the dog, walking the dog, loving certain animals and then eating others. Like, what is that? But that's a whole nother topic. Samantha said, this is exactly what I needed to hear. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining. Hey, greetings from China. Thank you for joining, Samantha. Gina says, that's beautiful. Hey, you're a beautiful soul. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So beauty on the inside, you see beauty on the outside. I'm glad that you're here. Marco says, thanks for inspiring me, brother. Thank you for being an inspiration. Continue doing what you're doing. The world needs you. Danielle said, amen. Amen. Can I get an amen, somebody? Yeah, of course. Haruka, yeah, thank you for being. And I'm glad that you were able to be present during this. And being present always. So continue, my friend. Continue to be with breath. Continue to be with chi. Continue to breathe with me. This is a wonderful life if we see it that way, and we can take it breath by breath. So make the rest of your life the best of your life, my friend. Thank you always for joining. Drop a nugget. If you're on the replay, drop anything that encouraged you, enlightened you, enthused you, anything that you took away from this. We'd love to hear it. Definitely hit me up in the DMs. I want to hear more about your healing journey. If we're strangers or we haven't met yet, let's get in touch. Also, thank you for everyone, for all the hearts, the likes and shares. Thank you for sharing this with someone who needs to hear it. You know, be it a close friend or a family member, anyone who you feel would gain value. Definitely hit the bell notification next to my name. Ring my bell if you want to be notified whenever we do these lives. And also, definitely check out the Open Palm podcast. That is the link in the bio there for you. And it's on all podcast platforms that are available. And that is for your listening pleasure and your daily inspiration, my friend. Be well, be blessed, take care, keep shining, stay golden, and stay kind, you know? It is better to be kind than it is to be correct. You'd rather be kind than to be right. Understand that. Kindness is its own reward. And you will see it reflected, just as you see it projected. It is protected. We are affected. So continue to affect the collective, my friend. Take care, and we'll catch you again. Can't wait to see you on the next live session. All right.